Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. dbougie86 here again, and welcome to my DVD slash Blu-ray update for the month of September. Got a lot of good stuff this month to show you guys. A lot more Blu-rays and DVDs this month, and just the way things roll with sales and stuff. So I got a lot to show you, so I'm just getting right into it. First off is a film that I saw in the beginning of the year, and I wanted a copy to revisit it, and that is Sergio Diabolico, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Uh, really cool film from what I remember. Uh, really dig the second time I watched it. Highly recommend this film, guys. Of course, from Adrian Garcia Bologiano, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I probably butchered the hell out of that last part. Picked up a few of his films this month. Another one from him is Penumbra, which I picked up from IFC Midnight. I remember this one being cool. Like I said, I want to revisit a lot of his older films. And Cold Sweat is another film by him, which is actually going to be my review this Sunday on Body Bags for a Spanish Horror Week. Can't wait to review this one for you guys. If you've seen this film, you know it's very, very funny and odd. Good stuff there. Next up is a film also from IFC Midnight, and that is The Killas. I heard a lot of good things about this one. I've been wanting to check it out for a while. Looks very interesting from its plot and subject matter, that's for sure. So I can't wait to check this one out. Next up are two films that aren't really horror films. They're more like crime action films, but they're loaded with gore, guys. And the first one is Sudden Fury, of course from Sub Rosa, which the cover art's not really the greatest on this release. This one stars David Warbeck in one of his last roles, so that's really cool to know. Really did dig that one. And Day of Violence, which is from actually the same director as Sudden Fury, and this film's pretty brutal. It has appearance by Giovanni Labano Radici in it. Really cool stuff. I really dug how this one played out. Next up is Richie Griffin film, which I heard a lot of good things about, and that is Flesh for the Infernal. I really dug this. It's like a love letter to Lucio Fulci in a way, and it has a lot of good elements to it. If you're a fan of Richie Griffin films, this is another one that he added to his caliber of films. It's fucking awesome. I highly recommend that one. Next up is Rubber's Lover, which is just a very fucking bizarre trip. I don't even know how to describe this film to you guys. It's just one you have to really see to believe. It's, of course, some batshit cyberpunk Asian film. Very odd film, I have to say. Great cinematography, though, in that one. And next up is a Shaw Brothers film, which I was stoked for, and it was pretty awesome, and that's Corpse Mania. Kind of in a sense of like a giallo slash slasher in a way, with a Hong Kong type of style. Really cool stuff. If you're a fan of like the Shaw Brothers horror films, this is one that you have to check out, of course, from the director of The Killer Snakes. Good stuff right there. Next up is, I actually haven't had a chance to check this one out yet, and that is The Carpenter with Wings Hauser. Plan on doing a review on this down the line. Seems interesting enough, and of course Scorpion releasing but this DVD out, so wanted to pick it up for that reason alone, because I'm a big fan of Scorpion. Next up is a Necrostorm film, which this is released by Bayview Entertainment, and that's Infernal. Heard a lot of interesting things about this one. It's like a revenge type film. I'm a big fan of Necrostorm's films, and this is one that's been on my stuff for a while now to pick up, so I'm very stoked to check this one out. And here's a few that I haven't got a chance to watch yet. They were sent to me to review through companies that I review films for. And the first is, of course, Vampires, which I'm going to be doing a review very soon on this one. Of course, this is a remake of the 1974 Spanish Vampires. And very interesting to check this one out, guys. Really cool cast. Carolyn Monroe's in that one and my good friends at Wild Eye Releasing sent me 5 films to check out. Uh, First up is one that I don't really have very interest in to actually watch, actually, and that's Exorcist The Fallen. I'm not really the biggest fan of possession films like these types, anyways. I like Night of the Demons and Demons, but I'm not really the biggest fan of like exorcism films. They're okay in my opinion. I like like the most popular ones, but I'm kind of interested in check this one out still. Give it an honest look. And next one is kind of one that I don't really know what kind of film it is, but it looks pretty cool, and that's Video Killer. Comes with this cool like artwork slip thing. Looks cool as all hell. Looks interesting. Next up, this looks just hilarious, like a killer dinosaur film. That's Killersaurus. Love me some killer dinosaur films, even if they're all bad. Uh, don't know how this one's gonna be, but we'll see. Next one is another film that I actually been hearing a lot of good things about, and that is The Neon Dead. I'll be reviewing this one down the line also. Really, really cool stuff, and I love that cover art. Actually, it benefits with the film, and I think it probably interprets what's going to go on. And the last one is Grime Wave, which has awesome cover art. I believe this is a shot on video film, so who knows? I'm curious on that one. Alright, that was it for the DVDs. Now into some Blu-rays. Are you ready for this? Some of these I did watch, some of them I didn't get a chance to check. Some of the films I have seen before, but haven't checked out like the transfers, so I'm going to be breezing through these pretty quick. So first up, my good buddy Matt Cantor sent me over this film that was going out of print, and I didn't have cash at the time. He picked up, actually, like they had like this deal where he picked up all 5 films that were on sale. They were going out of print for a great price. So he had an extra copy of this, and he sent me Bloody Birthday. I have seen this film before. I haven't checked out their edition of this film. Very stoked on it. Really, really can't wait to revisit that one. Big fan of like killer kid films. Next up, picked up the Sinful Door finally. Really great release by Severin. I have the DVD version of this. Just picked this up pretty much for the hardcore version, which is pretty fucking hardcore and sleazy, I have to add. Fucking great release. Can't wait to dig more into the features on this. Highly recommendable release by Severin right there. Next up is a film I did review on Body Bags, and that is House of Seven Corpses. This one's okay. It had its few problems, but it's still worth a watch in my opinion. So yeah, check out my review for my full thoughts on this one. Okay film. And the next up is Horror Express, of course. This one is also went out of print recently, and that's starring Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, and Kojak himself, Telly Savalas. So I definitely had to pick this up one. I've been wanting to grab this for a while, and perfect timing. Actually, great timing. And last for the Severins is a Andrei Jaronowski film, which I've been interested in checking out because I actually haven't seen it before, and that's Sagra. Sangre, my bad. Been very interested in checking this one out for a while. Of course, Jaworski's films aren't for everyone, and this one's been talked about for a while. So can't wait to check that one out finally. Now into some Vinegar Syndrome stuff. Yes, Vinegar Syndrome. Very big fan of that company, and they release a lot of cool titles. First off, they released 2 limited ones. I picked both of them up. First is Horror House on the Highway 5. This film has its problems, but I didn't mind it as much. It does have like a jumbled storyline in my opinion. I still enjoyed it for what it was, though. I knew what I was getting into. I knew it was going to be like this low budget type film, and that's what I got from it. So if you're a fan of Vinegar Syndrome, this might not be for everyone, but it's still worth a pickup because it does have some pretty cool special features on this film. and the transfer is pretty good also. And this one's the other limited one. It's actually from the same director as Horror House on Highway 5, and that is Hellbent. Don't know much about this one. It kind of sounds like a Fossian tale in a way. So curious on this one. Can't wait to check it out. Next up is Paul Naschy film from Vinegar Put Out, and that is Count Dracula's Great Love. Can't wait to check this one out. Been trying to get more into some Paul Naschy stuff. His stuff's getting very hard to find, like some of his other films. So good stuff that Vinegar Syndrome is releasing some of his stuff. Hopefully they get more titles in the future from more Naschy stuff. That'd be cool as all hell. Next up is The Bees with John Sachs and John Carradine. Really cool film, killer bee film. Awesomeness. This cover art's not really the greatest. I haven't transferred it. It comes with the the original OG cover art. So I'm very excited to check that one out. Well, I did actually check that one out, but you know what I mean. Watch it again because I did have fun with it. And this one I reviewed on Body Bags, and that's Raw Force. Really fun film. Check out my review on that one. And last for the Vinegar Syndrome stuff is Night Train of Terror, which I haven't seen before, and very stoked to because I'm a big fan of horror anthologies, and that's good stuff right there. Alright, next stack. Got The Skull from Eureka. Really cool release. Really starting to dig in the Eureka stuff. This is actually my second or third release from them. And this is a really cool edition. Comes with a nice booklet. And this film is pretty cool if you're a fan of Amicus horror films. This is one that you have to check out. Great cast. Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing again. Awesomeness right there. Next up, I picked up the all limited slip cup cover edition of Private Vices and Public Virtues. This is an Italian film, I believe, released by Mondo Macabre. I got numbers 700 and out of 1,000, if anybody cared. Really cool release, and I do like the slip cover art on it. Very odd film, I have to say. A lot of graphic nudity and stuff in that one. Next up, I picked up The Boy from Scream Factory. Been eyeing this one for a while. It's been on the back burner. Glad to finally picked it up. Came with the slip. Can't wait to check that film out. I'm trying to get my 2016 releases down packed. Picked up A Strange Color of Your Body's Tears, which is a French giallo film with a touch of art house cinema in it. And been wanting to check this one out for a while. Same with their first film, which I also picked up, that is A Mare, which I'm very excited to check both these out for you guys. Coming up soon. Really, really cool stuff. Love me some giallos, and I do like my art house cinema. So combine the two together. Can't wait to see how that plays out. Next up, I picked up, of course, the Vestron release of Chop and Maul. Was very excited when this got announced to Blu-ray because I didn't actually own an edition of this. And I forgot how much I actually loved this film after I rewatched this edition. This is definitely the release of the month for me. And I was very stoked that I picked it up, and it's fucking awesome. If you're a fan of this film, this is the best release of this film out there right now. Vestron killed it. Next up, I picked up Thesis, Spanish film I've been hearing a lot of good things about. My buddies in the 22 Shots did a Top 10 96 show, and this was on multiple lists. So, very, very stoked to check this one out. Looks really cool. Like me some more Spanish horror, trying to get more into that genre. Next up, I picked up a copy of High Tension. Been wanting to grab a copy, but it's been on the back burner, and I kind of forgot about it. But my buddies on the Exploding Heads Horror Podcast did a French Extreme show, and I've been wanting to revisit this film, so I picked up a copy so I could listen to their show more, because they go in detail about the ending and stuff. Really cool film. Next up, I picked up from the infamous company Twilight Times, Mindwarp. They're having this sucker on sale for $15. Like, I usually don't pick these up that much, only if they're on sale, which is very rarely. But this one was the only one on sale because I think they were just trying to get rid of copies of it pretty much because no one was buying it. So I picked it up and I'm glad I did because I actually do like this film from what I remember from it. I've seen it years ago and I've been eyeing it. I know it's been heavily bootlegged and it's cool that it did have a release even though it's a limited release, which sucks, but I don't know. I don't deal with those companies at all. So, but still cool to have, and I'm glad I didn't have to pay like $30 for it. Also, so that's the only way I will ever like pick up any of those releases. Next up, I picked up Hex, which I actually got in the mail today. This is the first release from 88 Films' new line of 88 Asia collection. Very stoked to check this out in Shaw Brothers film. So don't know really much about this one. I think it's like a witchcraft type film or a ghost film because they do a lot of those. So very stoked, and this is a very nice release. I have to say, like with a Criterion case and shit. Really nice stuff. This one, I'm gonna butcher the name of it. Louia, I believe that's how you pronounce it. This is from the director of Calvaire. Been very curious on this one for a while, so finally picked it up. It was on sale, like a lot of these were. Next up, I picked up Partisan with Vincent Cassel. This is an Australian film. Had a very cool premise, and I actually really dig Cassel as an actor. Really cool stuff. Picked up Kiss of the Dam. Like this, love this film with a passion. One of my favorite vampire films of all time, actually. And I'm glad I finally own a copy. A lot of this stuff was back burner stuff that finally picked up because the price was right finally. Now I got this into review from Draft House / MVD, and The Invitation. Really dug this film. I did a review on Body Bags. If you haven't checked out the review, check it out. Really cool film, kind of predictable in its story, but it had a lot of good elements to it that made it worthwhile in my opinion. So check out my review on that one. Next and final stack of movies, got Beyond the Black Rainbow, which I highly enjoyed, guys. This film is a visual masterpiece in my opinion, and I'm glad I finally got a chance to check it out. It was on my top 10, and it was at number 2 of my visual horror films list. So def check out that list and check out this film. Next up, I picked up Second Sight's release of The Ninth Configuration. Really great film, and this is a really great release with loaded with special features from Second Sight with help from Severin. I believe they produced the features for them. Really fucking awesome release. Really love this film with a passion. Really good stuff. Next up is I picked up Rubber, which I know is a film with mixed opinions, but like I say with like most art house films, art is subjective. You could either love it or you could hate it. I like this film. Great performance by Wingenhauser in that one. He makes that film in my opinion. Next up, I picked up another film from Andrea Garcia Belgiani, and that is Here Comes the Devil. I have seen this before. It's been a while. Wanted to revisit it. Like I said, price was right finally, so I picked up a copy. Next up, I picked up a redemption release of Crimson, aka The Man with the Severed Head. More Paul Naschy goodness, like I said before. Trying to get more into Paul Naschy stuff. His other stuff's kind of harder to find around here, these parts, these days. So I hope more of them get like great releases like this from these companies. Next up, I picked up Julia's Eyes. Really dug this film. Really great atmosphere, and the storyline is fucking awesome. One of my favorite Spanish films. It's up there on the list so far, and I really dug it. And this is a great addition from Umbrella Entertainment. Next up is a film I've been curious about for a while. Finally picked it up. Grateful Dead from Third Window Films. One of my favorite companies out there right now, releasing a lot of good Asian cult cinema stuff. And this one sounds batshit awesome. So I can't wait to check that one out finally. Next up is Cold Fish, also from Third Window, a Sanye Sono film. Seen this film before, really dug it. Been a while since I saw it. Picked up Third Window's version because big fan of that company. I'll support whatever they release. Next up, I finally picked up all of Films' release of Dr. Terror's House of Horrors. The price was finally right with the deep discount sale. Finally stoked to have this. This is actually one of my favorite anthologies of all time. Remember watching it all the time as the kid, and great that it has a release in the States again. Night of Living Dead. Deb, actually, my bad. Really cool film, horror comedy. Really dug it. My buddy Laura did a review on Body Bags on this. Really funny film from this year, and it's highly recommendable. I'm going to be doing a review on it myself for, well, I'll get into that in a minute. But really good stuff from, and it's got a performance by Ray Wise, and that's a plus in my opinion. Finally picked up The Final Girls. It's a film from last year I never got a chance to see. Really dug this. I was actually surprised the shit out of me. I really like the interaction between the mother and daughter relationship in this film. And to be honest, if I saw this last year, it would have made my list. To be honest, because I fucking watched this like 4 times. This is probably one of the most rewatched films I saw in a while. So, yeah, this is fucking awesome. I really dug The Final Girls. Finally picked up Godzilla. Really stoked when this first got announced. And I know this isn't like the American version, which is cool. I actually did see this version before. Heavily bootlegged version though, very shitty quality, so I can't wait to check out the transfer on this. I know my buddy Matt saw the transfer and he was like, oh my god, on it on our horror chat, so very stoked to check that one out finally. A nice addition. Picked up Hannah Dama. Been hearing a lot of weird mixed things about this one. Looks up my alley. Asian and weird batshit shit, you know. And last but not least, Atroce, which I did review on my own channel. Check out that review if you haven't. Really great film from Mexico. Very fucked up. Has a lot of fucked up shit going on in it. And I really dug that about it. So check out my review for my full thoughts. And that is it for the update, guys. Yeah, I kind of breezed through this. Now, before I leave you, first thing, tomorrow is October 1st. And I'm here to announce that I am doing the 31 Days of Horror again this year. And I'm stoked to do it because I learned a lot of things from my first time doing it. And I grew since then, I believe. And it's going to be challenging because I'll be doing Body Bags reviews also during the 31 days. So I'm very stoked for that and stoked to do it again. So I hope to see you again tomorrow, guys. So I'll see you then. Peace out.